Hey guys, welcome back to 12 Days of Christmas. We hope you are having a festive Christmas season. That's right, I said Christmas. Um, Today, we're going to talk about what we looked forward to most about Christmas break. So let's get into that. Welcome back, guys. We hope you're enjoying the 12 Days of Christmas because we are. And like we said, we're going to talk about what we looked forward to most about Christmas break. So,
Mhm.
what was something that you really, really got amped for when Christmas break was about to start?
I liked that there wasn't such a strict bedtime because school was in the morning. And that's
Right.
to this day, it's just that's what it is. You were
Hmm.
able to stay up later, you were able to watch Christmas movies in the evening. If there were Christmas movies or specials on TV, it wasn't, oh, that's gonna be on too late. We gotta get up early. That's that type of thing. You were able to watch them then. You're
Hmm.
able to be up later at night, that type of a thing. So that was definitely one of the things that I looked forward to. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the sleeping in. I
Yeah.
like
Not having
sleeping
to get
in.
up at six
So
in the morning.
oh yeah. So I really liked that you were able to sleep and you didn't have to get up super early and then you got to stay up late.
Yeah. One of the things that I always looked forward to, like you said, was sleeping in, but
Hmm.
also not having that like strict schedule of like, okay, I got to get up at this time, I got to get to school on this time. And then like having the rigorous, like just same thing
Yeah.
every day of like, oh, the bell rang, I got to go to this class type thing where
Hmm.
you could just choose what you wanted to do. If you wanted to,
Hmm.
you did fun winter stuff one day, and one day you wanted to just relax and watch Christmas movies, you could do whatever you wanted when you wanted. So it wasn't like you had to be,
Exactly.
and you didn't have to ask to go to the bathroom.
You have freedom.
Got freedom. You could eat when you wanted. You didn't have to sit there and be like, oh, my lunchtime is this time. You know,
Yes.
it was just a free for all, just relaxed, chilled, free
Hmm.
for all.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Another thing that I looked forward to break was you had time to play with your toys. And it's not going to be like even the ones that you got for Christmas. It was going to
Mhm.
be just like your toys in general. You were able to play with them like during the day for hours. Like what you would do on weekends, you got to do it during the week. And it was
Exactly.
so much fun to be able to
Yeah.
do that.
Well, and then you got to see your friends outside of school. Like you saw them every day, but it
Hmm.
wasn't until like the weekend that you would hang out with your friends.
Hmm.
Like especially like Friday night and stuff like that, you would get together with your friends, but you could do it any day, anytime. It
Hmm.
didn't have to
Yep.
be only in the evening. And it didn't have to be a short time like, oh, the street lights are on, I gotta go home type of thing. Like
Hmm.
you were allowed to hang out. Sleepovers, could have sleepovers at friends' houses,
Hmm.
whatever you want to do. So,
I think another thing. Um, so growing up, I was in Girl Scouts,
mhm,
and at our local rec center, I think it was the day before New Year's Eve. It was either on New Year's Eve or the day before. There was a special ice skating, like open skate for Girl Scouts, and this is something we looked forward to every year. That you even, I think it was even free. That you were able to, you donated canned goods, and it was just this time where your Girl Scout troop got together. So you got
mhm,
to see them over break and not in a school setting, like meeting at the school. And you also then got to ice skate and then see other Girl Scouts from the city. That is something I did. We did it every single year. And then I don't, we did it for a good number of years in a row. And there was even times where then no one from our Girl Scout troop would show up. So then I would come with my sister, so then we would just go then. And it was just something that we made a tradition because we liked ice skating growing up. We took ice skating lessons. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not as skilled as other people are with ice skating. Like I know how to ice skate, but I still to this day do not know how to ice skate with your legs perfectly or your ankles perfectly straight with the blades. I'm at least tilted a little bit. I don't know why, but that's just how I ice skate. Like I'm not like that. Like when it's like bent
Right.
so badly, but my feet are at like a little bit of an angle, but I never could like a lot when you skate, you're supposed to
Like,
be straight up with the blades.
yeah.
I can't do that. Mine's like my ankles are just tilted a little bit with the blades, and that's just how I skate.
I
But
haven't
I'm able to
skated in
zoom
so long.
around. I don't know how to skate backwards. I don't know how to
Oh,
spin or do jumps. I never made it to those level with the ice skating lessons. We stopped.
Yeah, no, I haven't skated in a good number of years. I mean, it's what I've gone periods of time where I haven't skated and then I got back on the ice and it's like riding a bike, you
I
know.
think it's been about
It
5 years for
yeah.
me because I worked at a summer camp and we got to
Hmm.
ice skate. So I want to say this was
Yeah.
summer 2016. Yeah, 16, so that's 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. Yeah, so it's been 5 years since I've ice skated last. So I need
Yeah,
to.
it's been quite some time. So I can't remember if my feet were ever like perfectly straight or tilted a little. I can't remember.
Hmm.
Um I would have to go skating this year to find that out. This is random, but like you had longer to deal with your homework. So you didn't have to do it like right away. But I was weird where I would get it done. I would try to get it done like at school because I always took a study hall. So, especially when I was older. So I would always try to get it done. But if there was something like a project, I would get it done the first, like that night or the first day of break so that I
Mm.
had the rest of break to do nothing because I didn't want that like to procrastinate and push it
I
off.
did. I would procrastinate and be like, I am not touching any of this stuff. There's no way I'm going to touch it. And I wouldn't. If there was like a project and it was a fun project, I would work on that. But this other stuff, I would let it sit. I do
Yeah.
remember that.
I remember vividly senior year winter break. The first day of break, I did my physics project because it had to deal with the breakers and everything. So I just did it that day and got it done.
Mm.
Because I didn't want to mess with it later on. So, because I know my dad was home that day, so that's why I was like, I'm just doing this today, get it
True.
done,
Mhm.
so that I didn't like turn off something random and not know what I was doing.
It's funny. Christmas break meant that, you know, you had your big Christmas get together. So
Yeah.
there were many times like Christmas Eve, would be on my dad's side of the family, and that would be all in the evening. And then
Mhm.
on Christmas Day, it would be with my mom's side of the family, and we were there like all day. Like we would get there early afternoon, and we would be leaving like later at night. And that was a time where you got to see your cousins, you got to see everyone open up gifts. Um,
Yeah.
and
People would play with their gifts like there.
yes, oh, it
Yeah.
would be the hounding of your parents. We need to open this. And of course, it's something involved batteries, and your grandparents didn't have batteries. The kids had meltdowns. But
Or it
we
would
need
have to
this.
get built, and your dad would be like, I don't want to build this.
Usually it wasn't. I feel like if there was toys involving batteries, my grandparents were pretty good about um, that
Having
never
them.
happened with my dad's side. My dad's side, it was always like the stuff like clothes. And so my grandma, when we got older, like it became a running joke of, oh, well, what clothes are we gonna get? And it was
Yeah.
like the one time we were like poking fun at it. And the one year, it was a couple years, she decided not to do it to throw us off or something. When we were super little, we got other stuff like
Yeah.
karaoke machine, art supplies, that type of stuff. But as we got older, it
Mhm.
was closed. But then she threw us off by one year. She gave us like computer games,
Wow.
and different stuff.
She
Yeah,
was
but
like,
then my
these kids are
grandma,
on to me.
yeah, well, no, because then they were like, "Oh, Jennifer, take a guess what we're getting clothes." Or what she would do
Yeah.
is that she would be getting everyone like the same thing, but in a different color. So The one
Oh,
year
my
she
grandma
got
would do
all of
that.
us, we all got these like winter out, like not sweater vests, but the winter jacket vests. And
Mhm.
they were all black. And then
Mhm.
she was giving us orange. I think you can kind of figure out where I'm going with this.
Oh, school colors.
Yeah, she did school colors, and then she would, for my cousins that were in at Xavier, they would get Xavier stuff like the one year.
The
Um,
one color. Yeah, their
yeah.
colors.
But my
Thanks,
on my
grandma.
yeah, and she did that even with like the adults, like they like, and the guys would all get something like work gloves with different things, and like there was always
Yeah.
like it was a likeliness stuff. With my other side, with my mom's side, my grandma went to hog wild buying us stuff that it was like we had these giant plastic stockings that we still have because we wanted to keep them. She would fill them with so much stuff, and then she would be buying even more stuff that was under the tree, and it got to the point where like this is insane. There was oh it was, but then a lot of times she would get four, there was four granddaughters, so it was like four, like if they were given a beanie baby or something, like each one gets a beanie baby, this or that. And
Yeah.
it was so much stuff. You're like, oh my God. So that's how there's the running joke of why did KB Toys go out of business when she
Because
gave
your
them so
grandma.
much business. um
Because your grandma.
oh it was pretty bad. Like she would go hog wild.
You
But
just
then
go all out.
when we got older, then it turned into you got a movie and then a Hallmark ornament.
Okay.
So that's what, and then it turned into that because it became too much, or it was like um my mom or my uncle stepped in and did the shopping for to help her because it got to be like too much with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was like you got to hang out with your cousins, you got to get all these more toys, and it's like, oh good, now we have to haul all this more stuff back to the house.
Yeah, you had to try to squeeze it in the car.
Well, my other cousins, see, I don't remember on my mom's side this happening. On my dad's side, they would bring a laundry basket, one of those plastic laundry baskets, and
Yeah.
anything that they got, they would put like, if the adults in their family got stuff, if the kids, and they would just bring it all back because there'd be too much stuff to like carry out to the car.
It makes sense. Yeah,
Um,
I don't think we did that. We just had to carry a bunch of things and it was like, oh my
that's
God.
I just remember my aunt and uncle doing that with my cousins. It might
That's
have happened on my mom's side if there was like a bunch of stuff.
mhm.
Um, but well, on my mom's side, what was awesome was so we would see them on Christmas Day. And so we
Mhm.
would bring toys, this type of stuff. 1 week later, we would get together on New Year's Day. And it was like the tradition that we had our pork, pork roast, dumplings, sauerkraut. Sometimes there was kielbasi, all this like corn. There was like all of this stuff that it was like we had it every year. We got to see
Yeah.
them again. So you knew that was a time period where, because my cousins that didn't live in the same city as us, we got to see them twice in a row that close together. And
Yeah.
normally it was you saw them in July for one person's birthday, in August, and like it was spread apart. But this was such a unique time that you got to see it back to back. So like that
Oh
was
yeah.
that was really cool then. Um,
Mhm.
and of course we would get it was the front bedroom that we called the playroom, and my grandma
Mhm.
would buy stuff, and we were bad. We would close the door and we would get so loud and rowdy in there, and then the adults, they would be all at the table in the dining room, they're coming, what's going on in here, because it was like sometimes toys were being chucked around, like thrown.
Oh no.
We would get really, really wild. Like it was so bad. Like I could have sworn the one time my grandma actually had one of those play kitchens in there.
Mhm.
And so there was all the plastic food, the silverware. I just remember one time, like the food, like I don't know if we were pretending to have a food fight, but this is with plastic toys. We started
No, no.
chucking them, and I could have sworn as my uncle opened the door, something got chucked by him, like a plastic carrot or something. It's like, what are you guys
Come
doing?
in.
What are you doing in here? Or she would get those all of the electric keyboards and stuff
Oh
that she would
God.
buy. and we would be so rackety with them. And they're like, okay, we had enough. And we would close the door. And the one time I could have sworn that they got so mad at us, they're like, this door is staying open.
Probably.
Because like
They're
it was
probably like, we need to watch you.
we were being stupid in there. And my grandma, not all the time, but some years she would set up on this table, like a village with the ceramic houses, like the people and stuff. And there was that ice pond that when you would turn it on, it was with the magnets and the people would scoot around.
Mm-hmm.
The one time I think we kind of got yelled at or something because we were being rough with it. And we were doing stupid things with like, we're gonna make the trees ice skate and do different stuff. And my grandma's like, stop touching that.
Oh my god. That reminds me of like when we would, outside of family Christmases, you would have like some of family friends would have Christmas parties. So the adults would be upstairs and the kids would be in the basement, and it was just, we were just wild in the basement.
That's what I mean. Like, that was like the best time of your life when that kind of crap would go on. When you really think about it, like, oh my god.
You would be playing The Floor is Lava, like people would be getting hurt. I remember my brother fell the one time, it was bleeding. So we had to get one of the adults upstairs and then explain why he was bleeding.
Oh my god.
So there was like things like that. And then after we were all being wild down there, we would like calm down and then like put on a Christmas movie and start watching a movie all together and everything.
That's the thing, like, and if you had an adult in the room with you, like none of that would be happening, or they would not get over the crap you'd be doing. Like, oh my god.
I think the one time when you were talking about the plastic silverware, well, it was the plastic silverware that you would use to eat stuff with, like not the toy stuff. Those things were getting chucked around in the basement the one time. Somebody got hit in the face with a plastic knife.
Oh my god.
And this kid was such like a whiny baby, started screaming. And I'm like, seriously, I got blamed for it when it was his brother chucked it. And like, I was like, seriously, he chucked it at me and it hit his brother.
It was the worst thing ever when a cousin or somebody blamed it at someone else and then your aunt or uncle got all mad at you. It's like, well, wait a second. No, that's not how it happened. You were in here. You didn't know.
So then the kids,
I think all of you guys are guilty because all of you guys are getting too hyper. Like, it was bad.
Right. Yeah. They were like, they pulled everybody. They're like, who did it? And then nobody was like fessing up. So then the brother who did it, because this was a family friend, was like, it was her. And I'm like, what? I didn't even do it. I was coming down the staircase and you chucked it and it hit your brother.
Oh my god.
I'm like, so I got blamed for it. And his like parents, his dad was screaming at me. I'm like, bro, calm down. I'm like, I didn't even do it. You're acting like the kid's eye got poked out. Literally, he had a little teeny red mark right here. And I'm like, that's it.
This reminds me, oh my god, what the couple things you just said remind me of a couple things. And this was all at my it had to have been on my mom's side, because this was my two cousins and me and Julia. So there would be those times where we would get so wound up in the front bedroom called the playroom that we would be like sweating. We'd be all red faced. We open up the door and we're like, we're so thirsty. We need something to drink. And they're like, what the heck are you guys doing? You're all red faced. And we're like chugging pop. And we're all like, this is ridiculous. Like, we were all like dying because I don't know what, if we were like running around in circles, if we were playing music and stopping it like musical chairs. So that would be going on. The one time I could have sworn my uncle separated us and had us each sit like one person on one side of the couch, one person there, because there were things happening where I don't know if someone got mad that something got thrown, like you brought up. It's like, well, see, this is the problem. You guys, you push it too far, get carried away, and look what happens. Someone gets hurt, something happens. Like, you guys need to learn of when enough is enough. And like, I could have sworn my aunt got mad. I don't know if one time something got thrown in someone's face where someone had to get iced. Like, something happened.
So I'm telling you, it would get like crazy.
Yeah.
There was a point where at that party, they were like, okay, you guys need to go outside and play in the snow. So then we're out there and we're playing in the snow. We're like throwing snowballs at people,
No.
at each other, having a snowball war. Then we ended up on the trampoline and we're like playing
In
in
the
the snow.
winter? That's even more of an accident waiting to happen.
Why? I don't know. We were just like, yeah, this is a good idea.
Oh my
Because my best
God.
friend, it was her house, and like she was like, oh, let's go on the trampoline. Because it wasn't like
Was
it
it?
was like
It better not have been icy. I
no,
swear.
but there was like all of us, this huge group of us just on the
In
we were
December.
all we're all just out there bouncing on the trampoline, and like you're looking at the Christmas lights like over there, and like the snow's falling just on the trampoline. I mean, yeah, you just get into things because as a kid you don't think about getting hurt.
Right.
You just think about having fun, and so you're just doing it.
Did
Then
you
they
ever
called us
do
in.
like
They were like,
gingerbread
what do you
houses with
guys do?
your cousins growing up or your friends? Like making gingerbread houses or having a relative bring one over that was made?
Mhm.
My God.
I don't remember making any.
My aunt who's the baker, they made a gingerbread house and brought it over. And I know when Julia watches this, she's just gonna start laughing. So there was this gingerbread house and we started devouring it. And it got so bad that I don't know why. My there was a knife that was pulled out and like not a butter knife, a regular
Like a
like
steak
knife
knife?
to cut like meats or something, like not like a butcher knife, but like if
Like
you're
a
gonna
steak
cut
knife, like a
steak
dinner knife.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so it was to the point where like we want these pieces of gingerbread and it wasn't breaking apart. So I could have sworn my one cousin was like stabbing this. But this is the best part of all. This is like one of the best memories ever. So my grandma had somewhere on a shelf this little baby. And I don't know if it was supposed to be baby Jesus
Did they
with a
stab it?
nursery, but we were calling it baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
We put baby Jesus in the gingerbread house that was being devoured, and I believe this was the only gingerbread house that ever got brought over there. And so baby Jesus is inside, and we're breaking this thing up.
He's got a scarf.
Oh, it is so adorable. Oh my God.
That's what she was interrupting me for.
That is so adorable.
He hates it. I didn't mean to interrupt your story.
No, you're fine. Baby Jesus. So baby Jesus got placed in the middle of this gingerbread house that all these kids, well, there's just 4 of us trying to devour and eat. And this is like, then the adults are like, you're gonna get crumbs on it. It was like this weird, it was like only like this big. It was small things. I don't know if it was a toy on the shelf or what it was, but
it
then
didn't
like
get impaled, did it?
it was getting no, but there was getting crumbs on it. But that's when like the thing with the knife was going on. Like my cousin's like, bam, bam. She's like, but I want a gingerbread piece. She's like trying to get at it because I think the gingerbread was hard, not soft. And so my aunts are like, you're gonna hurt yourself. And then they're like, this baby Jesus is inside. It's like inside you.
I just am like, no, not baby Jesus. You're gonna get him.
And I don't know.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. Is they like put the knife in and they pulled it out. He's on there.
And for the longest time, like I think we actually did keep it. We didn't want to get rid of it because it was this memory of baby Jesus in the tank of the gingerbread house.
Who's this baby Jesus?
My God.
See, you did like random things as a kid and you didn't think about stuff. You just was like, I want this now. I'm gonna do this. Like, it just was like you get into some craziness. I don't know if I could top baby Jesus with anything. I don't know. I do remember during holidays, this is always a thing that like my grandparents on my dad's side do. Anytime you would be at their house, like large gatherings, they would talk about the sheenie, which is it's an Irish thing, but he like collects you leave rags out and he collects rags or whatever. But they made it into a scary thing so that we wouldn't go down in their basement. And they said the Sheenie lived down. So I remember we would all, like, all of us cousins would like dare each other to go down there.
Oh my God.
Because, well, too, they would leave the, like, drinks would be down there. So if you wanted a pop or something, you had to go down there.
Oh, I
So
thought
it
you
was
meant like
all,
the alcohol was down there. So they were saying the Sheenie's down there so the kids don't get any alcohol.
no, no, that they would have elsewhere. But they would leave like the pop and the iced tea and everything down in the basement because they had
Mhm.
free, like, another refrigerator, and then it would just always be cold down there, so they would leave it like on the ground
Mhm.
in the container things. So it would always be like, oh, we're thirsty, somebody, we want to pop. But it was always, well, who's gonna go down there? Who's gonna go down there because the Sheenies down there?
God.
So it'd always be like, who's gonna do it? Because, and then there was always one area of the basement that was like dark, even if you turn the lights on. So
Mhm.
we would always be like,
It's in that corner.
It's in that corner. And when I was younger, my grandparents had a cat named Misty, and it always stayed down in the basement. So then you would hear like rummaging around, and you would take off running, and here it would be the cat.
Oh my God.
That's like that's about what I could compare to
To
Baby
Baby-
Jesus.
So we'll probably end on this note. That was some juicy.
Yeah, it kind of like went into other stuff, but that's
But-
totally fine.
But it's with Christmas break. You
Yeah,
got
it does,
juice.
because
You got the tea of what happened in the late 90s, early 2000s on Christmas break for us.
yeah,
Top
what we would get up to as
information.
kids.
Baby Jesus and the Sheenie.
Don't
That could
go
be a
in the
children's
basement.
book.
The Sheenie's
We
down
can make
there.
a children's book, Katie. Baby Jesus and the Sheenie.
Christmas with the Sheenie.
Mm.
And then
God.
have the other one be like, up, down came the house on Baby Jesus. Oh no. Oh my God, that's
And the
hilarious.
thumb
though.
drops on Baby
Not
Jesus's
the
house.
thumb drop button. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
On that note,
Mhm.
we are going to end this. So thank you for joining us for another 12 days of Christmas. We hope that these memories and talking about Christmas break today brought maybe some memories back for the shenanigans you did in your grandma's house, like over at their house or in Aunt and Uncle's basement. Anything, any mischief that you got into, or fun things you do with your friends over break, the activities you did. So yeah, maybe this will be just hearing us talk about this will make you want to talk about the mischievous things you did when you were little, when you get together this Christmas season with your friends and family. So that might be a conversation starter for you.
It might be.
On that
Or
note,
hopefully it made you just laugh. So.
yes. So thank you for joining us in the chat first, and we will see you tomorrow.